Welcome to Study Loop.
Hi everyone. So today, before we get started on the specific question, I think that it would be best if we could talk about some of the key terms that will come up on your test and have to do with this question. So if we look over here at the word bank, these first four words are sides of an organism. And these sides of an organism are used by scientists to figure out which part of the animal they're referring to or organism. And then if we look at these four words, these are, as you can tell, your answer choices. And these are different planes that can dissect that organism into above sides. So we have to figure out what sort of plane splits a dorsal and a ventral side from each other. And to do that, let's first look at a simple organism, a fish. So if you take a look at this fish, first, let us figure out which sides are corresponding to which term. So the dorsal is easy to remember because it goes where the dorsal fin or the top of a fish would be for any organism. The ventral side is always the bottom. The anterior is going to be at the front and the posterior is going to be at the back, which you can remember because post always means after. So now that we know where the sides are, we can try and figure out where the planes go to dissect and split an organism into these sides. So if we look at the first one, sagittal, a sagittal plane goes up and down like so, and it splits an organism into left and right. So I can't quite draw this in 3D, but you can kind of get the gist of it. So when it splits it into left and right, any left and right split is done by a sagittal plane. However, specifically a mid-sagittal plane, that occurs when it's a subtype of a sagittal plane, and that occurs when you take a sagittal plane and you split something that is equally symmetrical on both the left and right side. So if you went straight down the middle of, say, a human or a goat, that would be specifically a mid-sagittal plane. Now, if you look at a transverse plane, we can see that a transverse plane also goes up and down, but instead of splitting left to right, it splits front to back, so anterior to posterior, the tail of the fish to the head of the fish. And then finally, last but not least, our frontal plane, we can see goes this way. And a frontal plane goes this way, splitting the dorsal from the ventral side. And we can see that that answers our question, that a frontal plane splits an organism from top to bottom or dorsal to ventral. Thank you.